Before the sun hits the hills of Jawai, jeeps leave their houses in search of leopards. This was the month of August, and very quickly, after the sunrise, it gets very hot, and leopards prefer to stay in their caves during hot days. Even though we woke up early and left on time, we were not alone in these hills. There were many jeeps waiting across the area at different spots to look for any leopard movement. A few minutes after 6 am, all the jeeps gathered near the caves. What do you think were we all looking at? The next generation of Jawai, the two cute leopard cubs of Jivta female. These are the cubs of the same female leopard we saw in episode 2 and 3 of the series. If you have not watched those, please do so now. Even though you cannot see their mother in this video, she was seen moments before. And anyway, these cubs could not be so relaxed if their mother was not around. The fear of another male in this territory has forced Jivta to be extra careful about this litter. For the first 3 months of their lives, they did not leave the cave. And goes without saying, they both are totally dependent on their mother for food. Only after 1.5 to 2 years, they will leave the mother's territory to create one for their own. At this age, it's hard to even tell whether these are male cubs or female cubs. Playing together like this with siblings will teach them the important lessons of life. It will bring them more agility and sharpen their reflexes. These cubs played for a good 10 to 15 minutes in front of us and then went to the other side of the cave. And that's when we moved forward to look for other animals. The sun had now come out and it was morning time. Anything we see now would be captured in a much better light than when we saw the cubs. In Jawai, the wildlife you see is very unique and limited. Because all these hills are surrounded by villages, you see more of cattle and less of wildlife. So, we found a herd of nilgai nearby. Nilgai are big animals. For a tiger can bring them down in a single swipe. For leopards, these are mostly a little out of their capacity. What leopards love hunting down are their young ones. That's why the nilgai mothers will keep the babies at the center of the herd. However, a few bold male leopards have been known to hunt down big nilgai bull too. Apart from nilgai babies, leopards hunt down langur monkeys and dogs, and street dogs are their favorite. Let us tell you something about our driver from Jawai, Rajendra Singh Ranawat. What a man he was. Undoubtedly the most passionate driver we have met in the wild. In fact, we got tired and wanted to go home, but he kept pushing us to see more and enjoy wildlife till late at night. His warm welcome touched our hearts. His family is also very supportive, and his young daughter is super sweet. If you ever plan on visiting Jawai, you can contact him. Going with him, you will have a different experience in the wild. We have mentioned his contact number in the description below. His rates are reasonable and his efforts are much more than what he charges for. As we were observing these nilgai, somebody called us that the cubs had reached the top of the hill and are goofing around. It looked as if they are hugging each other on top of their throne in front of their mother. But the last survey, it was estimated that there are 12 to 14,000 leopards in India. But because tiger conservation is prioritized, these leopards have struggled to survive. At one end, they face the struggle of territorial fights. The mortality rate in leopards is very high. Mostly, only less than half of the leopard litter survive. When a new male leopard comes into the area, there is only one way the female leopard will mate with him: when she wants new cubs. And to have new cubs, she has to be made devoid of the existing cubs. This is the brutal law of nature. Male leopards frequently kill young cubs. The other issue faced with leopards is the loss of habitat. Due to ever-increasing population, the leopard lands are shrinking. Currently, these two have a hill to play with. Who knows, tomorrow they might be pushed away. We count on coexistence, but sometimes things can go wrong. There is a limit to coexistence. After all, these solitary cats need their own space. That is the very essence of their existence. Living close to humans or any other species is strictly against their nature. Yet, we are forcing them to change their behavior. Given the current states, the picture looks good, but we have to start preparing for the future from now. We have to identify new habitats where these cubs can play without fear. For now, their challenge is survival, surviving the childhood days away from a dominant male who is loitering around their hill. Only time can tell what's in store for them, adulthood or death.